I heard um a channel, I believe it's Slim or some. Listen to his channel. Shout out to his channel. But one thing he was saying is like the crackhead games, and that's it made me laugh. But it's like the crackhead games that narcissists play. Like people, only thing I can say is I hear a lot of channels that say just don't talk to them. Just don't. You have to know what type of narcissist that you're dealing with, what level they're on, because when I cut contact with the narcissist, he started doing violent things. He started stalking. And, it's not funny because I've had to file for multiple injunctions. And, it's a lot going on in my life. But I'm definitely doing my best to press through. And really, honestly, it's like the crackhead games that they play. He did damage to, like, I already had issues because I'm in Tampa Bay area. We had Hurricane Milton that came through. It ended up making landfall at Category 3. It did a lot of damage in our area, and if it was a 4 or 5 like it initially started off, it would have been a lot worse. But I did have some minor damage, but it looks like my car, having issues with my car since the storm, and he just made it worse because right before the storm, he kicked my doors in. He kicked my car doors in. I didn't share that in the last video because sometimes I feel like maybe I shouldn't share certain things, but he kicked them in to where he was acting like, if you ever seen Planet of the Apes, hate to use that reference, but it's the truth, jumping on the car, kicking the doors in just because I was trying to tell him I just want to move on with my life. I'm done. Like, I'm done. And I felt like I was still trying to have some semblance of a relationship in the sense of for our daughter's sake that he can still see her. But he's just too unpredictable. He's just too violent. And, he's never done any harm to her, but I just don't know how far he would take it. So I just can't have that kind of energy around me, especially when I'm trying to heal, especially when I'm trying to move forward. And I don't like a lot of these people who feel like you've got to have people around you constantly or you need to lean on somebody. That doesn't work for me. Don't get me wrong. It's been a season of kind of like I really been by myself. Like I really haven't had any real support. Even with my mom, I had to kind of like just fall back, you know what I mean? Because I feel like in a lot of ways I made my life about other people, and when I really, really got to the nitty-gritty, I can see how people decided, how they were going to do me, they weren't going to support me, but whenever they needed me, I was there, and I just, my dad, he did step up and help me in certain kind of ways. And my mom have, really been the backbone that always helped me. But then I noticed, I felt like she manipulated that a lot of times. She manipulated my decisions. Even though I know she loved me, I'm just being honest, And sometimes people feel like if you're honest about how you're treated, you know what I mean, you're being disrespectful to your parents, and it's not that. It's just, it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, we talked today, and I feel like our relationship got a lot better, but I really have for me, I'm not telling everybody to do this, but what I'm getting, what I feel like, the most High leading me to do is, like, I really got to hone in and really, like, get to myself and really feel my energy also I can really heal, so I can really, really be strengthened. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. They think if you have to go to rehab, man, most times you go to rehab by yourself and with the person who is doing the physical therapy. Most times, some people have support. Sometimes family members may show up and may come, but a lot of times that's your journey. That's what you have to do to heal. And everybody's not going to be a part of that because it's very painful. And it may be frequent. It may be long term. It may be 6 months, 8 months, 18 months, 2 years, 24 months, however long it takes for you to be rehabilitated. And I think what a lot of people try to do is they pacify it like I was doing, drinking or, other things, instead of really saying, because what you do is you feel like, okay, at least for me, I'm just going to use myself as an example. You think, well, I ain't hurting like I was when I was first with the narcissist. I'm not in as much pain. But you don't really realize, yes, you are. It's just you keep getting re-injured, and it's starting to become numb. But, as I started to kind of get more and more distance from this person, I noticed that I had to drink to go to sleep. And now that I don't drink, haven't been drinking, and I'm purposely doing that because I feel like I need to go on a healing journey. And as a believer, I really shouldn't be over drinking anyways. Some people don't believe in drinking at all. I do believe that it's, in moderation, and you shouldn't be drunk. You shouldn't be, outside of yourself or whatever. That's why I believe you have to be very careful. But it's like with me, I probably, it's a family, I would say a generational curse. I really just want to shy away from that. And I feel like right now, and just to get to where I need to be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I don't even want it right now, and I can't. So, and I'm kind of glad in a sense because health-wise, with what the doctor is, telling me I need to do, I can't even drink. So now I'm just at a point like to see where. I'm glad to be able to see. Okay, sober. What are my thoughts? How do I feel? What is going through my head? What do I feel about the situation? And I just realized, like, for whatever odd reason, I've called the police on him so many times. He had an injunction for a year. I'm requesting another one, and it's like he just doesn't, the narcissist, that's what I'm saying. I don't care what they say. Like I said, I don't believe every narcissist is at this extreme level as the person that I was dealing with, but I'm telling you this, I don't care what they say, they got demons. The devil is alive, straight up. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it in action. I've seen it manifest on more than one occasion. It tell you they ain't got no demons, they lie. So it is what it is. It's no offense to anybody who's trying to get healed or, they're a self-aware narcissist or whatever, man. I'm just calling a spade because I know who I am and that man up there. And I got a long way to go. I'm pretty sure I'm dealing with I know I'm dealing with forms of oppression from having that fool around me. So you think it ain't no unclean spirits that's trying to stay around? Of course. So I'm not even finna lie and pretend like I don't know better. Of course, that's why I've been praying. I know better. And especially with me being sober, not even, because I was using that like literally now I'm taking like natural supplements to sleep, and they don't work. That's how I know it has to do with PTSD and, PTSD and dealing with a narcissistic person, because your immune system has been in fight or flight. You have been your cortisol, all that cortisol that makes you gain weight, all those stress hormones, and you've been literally in that state for however long you've been with a narcissist, and you think 6 months you're gonna be good. You think you're gonna be all right? No. Unless God do a speedy recovery, most of the time it's gonna take probably as much time as you was in that relationship, or even the rest of your life, just really healing from things. But I feel like until I get to a certain point, I can't afford to be re-injured. I cannot afford to go down that path again. And I did it over and over for 4.5 years, or 4 years, 4.5. So I'm like, I can't do that. I cannot do that. Like, I am still like struggling mentally with certain things about dealing with it. I know now, like I know for a fact, like, man, that stuff was principalities and powers, and Definitely witchcraft. Let me tell you something. Anything to persuade you not to be who you really are or walk in who God really called you to be is witchcraft, because it's trying to mold and twist your will, to bend your will to whatever the narcissist wants you to do, other people want you to do, to get you off the path that the Creator has for you. I don't care what belief you think. Well, whoever he innately knows what gifts he put in you. I'll say innately what God put. I'm saying that wrong. What God put in you innately. He knows what gifts you have, what talents you have. Who are you meant to affect in a positive way? And when you get that dark energy around you from the narcissistic person, it's draining your ability to even function in your gifts, to function in your calling, to function in whatever you feel like you put here to do. This is not a joke. I don't care what they say. It's one, and I'm not against, because I've been looking for a therapist. I want a therapist. I want a coach, because I feel like I want to get into that. But before I really get into that, I feel like I need to be a recipient of that coaching and counseling and, therapy before I can really delve into it like I want to. Because, listen, the Crackhead Games, that's what I'm trying to say. Just the way I look at it is you've been dealing with spiritual crackhead. And no offense to anybody dealing with addiction, because I've dealt with binge drinking, so I'm not picking on nobody. But just think about dealing with somebody who is irrational, and no matter what you do, and then they not just irrational, they are unpredictable, they are vindictive, they are venomous with their words. They come to steal, kill, and destroy. That's what the enemy come to do, and he using them to do that. So it's like, and I don't, even the ones that are inadvertent, that may not know they're always being used, that's not the point. The point is they're being used, and they may not know, and it's not for you to try to go back and forth with them about whether they understand what's on a spiritual level, what is actually happening. What is for you to do is run, flee, get away, and I've been doing everything I can, and I have other plans that, where I'm at now, I'm renting whatever, my house, but, I eventually want to buy my house, and I just plan to, God willing, I cover that. I don't even, in the blood, I cover what my plans are in His holy, in the secret place of the Most High. But what I am saying is, I got plans to really like make sure that I don't have to keep dealing with even what I'm dealing with right now, because their whole goal and purpose is, if they can't completely destroy you, is to make you stagnant. And what happens with stagnant water? It spoils, it's dirty, it's no good, and in order to bring good things, more other good things into your life, there has to be an ebb and flow in your life, especially, it's like water, it's like a currency. Faith is a currency. Money is a type of currency. And in order to get that, you have to have the ebb and flow. You have to be in a positive place mentally, spiritually, and emotionally as well. That's why when you're dealing with the narcissist, those things a lot of times start to dry up. And if you still are maintaining some semblance of faith or some semblance of, you're still holding it together, that's why they do those things they do, so that they can get you in a negative pattern or energy, so that they can, if they can't directly hinder what you have, they can get you to do it, because now you're in that negative cycle. I don't know if anybody ever seen the movie, it was Bill Murray was in it. It's called Groundhog Day. You waking up, when you with a narcissist, you waking up the same day every day. You think it's a new day. That's why you get to learn them so well and their tactics, because if you start paying attention, you realize you're waking up to the same day with these fools. They don't change the day. They do the same thing over and over all the time in different ways. But it's the same day. You're not moving forward with them. You waking up Groundhog Day. The same miserable day. And you see, even in the movie, until he actually learned his lesson, he kept waking up to the same day. But the narcissists, a lot of times, most of them, they don't learn their lesson. That's why if you stay with them, you're going to be on repeat right with them. And the way God was explained to me, like if you ever seen the movie A Wrinkle in Time, where it's got Oprah in it, there is some truth to that. I feel like sometimes Christians, we get a little weirdo sometimes because there is some science, there is some truth to time travel. There's something to it because I had a dream about it, and I felt like God was trying to explain to me how that works. And it's like folding a piece of paper, like when you're able to somehow compress because I believe maybe time is linear, and somehow you're able to collapse that line, because we live inside space and time. God is above, is outside of that. So you can time jump. There's a way to do it, but I don't know what doing that. What does it do? Affect future and the past, and how does that work? But it's like on that time reel, that's how it makes me think of like a movie reel with the narcissist. You gonna replay that? You just replaying the same scene. The scenery may look different temporarily, but it's gonna be so familiar because it's gonna take you right back to the same thing. I use movie references because me and my brother, the one that passed away, we used to watch, like, he was a movie fanatic. We used to watch the same movie. We'll watch the same movie 10 times. And I remember he used to play The Labyrinth all the time. I grew up watching The Labyrinth. And I always think about how, like, she met the lady that was like the trash lady. And it was so familiar. She had a mission to go save her little brother who she resented. And I feel like sometimes that's how people get us. We resent ourselves. We resent because we feel like life didn't go a certain way, but you forget your mission. And I feel like even though in the movie it was her baby brother who she had said a wish that she didn't want to have, and then the Goblin King came and got the child, and she had to go through a labyrinth to save her brother. It's like, really, that I just use that as a metaphor of like, that's saving yourself. That little kid is like going through the labyrinth is really to save yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like she kept getting distracted along the way. She kept getting things to throw her off the path. She kept getting things to put her in a spell. You know what I mean? To make her forget what her purpose is, what her mission was. And in the trash heap, the lady was able to, like, make it appear as if it was her bedroom. And she had to snap out of it to realize she was just in the middle of trash. She wasn't back home. This wasn't a joke. She was really off the path that she needed to be on. And that's what the narcissist does. They're making it's a facade. It's fake. It's to make it appear familiar. It's something to comfort you. But really, it's to take you off of your square. It's to take you away from your mission and your purpose. And it's like, the devil don't care. He don't play fair. He'll use a relationship. He'll use a friendship. He'll use a family member. He'll use a job. He'll use anything if he's able to manipulate those people. That's why you really got to stand in faith and why it's important. You know what I'm saying? People don't think dark energy is real. The devil is real. He's definitely real. He's a real he has a person. But just like there are beings of light, there are beings of darkness. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Bible says that the devil appears as an angel of light. He made his own choice a long time ago. And unfortunately, he's in a war with the Creator to get people to choose him or choose his side, because that way he can have some more power and authority, because he's getting people to be in agreement with what he wants to do. But ultimately, the Creator wins. But it's just like, and we win, the ones who are on his side. But it's just like, it's difficult because you can get lost along the way, because you're taking these relationships, you're taking these people who are ops as something, you're taking it lightly, and a soldier has to always be reminded that you're in combat. And we be taking vacation, and there's nothing wrong with letting your hair down and go having a good time. But remember that a soldier has to be going to be a soldier. I talked to a person who was in the Marines for a long time, and I realized something, that even though he's no longer a soldier, he's still a soldier. Even in the position he got now, all of that training that he learned is why he's successful. in what he's doing right now, because he never forgot in the back of his mind that he's still a soldier. He's still a soldier. He never forgot his training. And sometimes I feel like that's what we do. We forget our training. We get with somebody and we want to just chill. We just want to relax. We just want to enjoy the person, and we forget. Like, no, you're still a soldier. You got to be careful always, no matter what. Not saying looking over your shoulder, but you do got to have those instincts and be reminded of your training as to what you're dealing with. These fantasies and this stuff you see on social media, man, it's fake. A lot of that stuff is fake. It's phony, man. You got to get out. You got to get out of the matrix. You got to get out of La La Land. And the narcissist doesn't want to. I'm telling you, it's a song by Life called like Never Never Land, right next to Peter Pan, 'cause nobody wants to grow old. The narcissist is like stuck there, like. And I reiterate this in my videos because it's so wild to me that that's really the truth. And it's just like a Chucky, they remain in that perpetual state of darkness and trauma and trouble. And, you know, like I said, them unclean spirits is feeding on them, and that person, to survive, they come feed on you to feed themselves and those other entities that they deal with. And even with me, I kept saying to myself that I've been having very much intrusive thoughts, and I keep saying, like, I plead the blood over my mind, plead the blood over my spirit, like God say, think on these things, all those things that are lovely, all those things that are good, of good report, and that's what I've been doing, because I realize in order to really pull yourself out of this, the rumination is one of the biggest challenges. The biggest challenges. And you can't play the crackhead games that narcissists. You don't play that stuff with them, because that residue sticks on you. That's like going with a narcissist, dealing with them and trying to, like, unless you absolutely have to, it's like you're going in a pig pen, talking to them, conversating with them, going back and forth with them, trying to explain to them, continuing to sleep with them, knowing they having other partners and doing other stuff. And the way I feel like God was trying to show me in the spirit, God even showed me him as a pig before. A pig, a fox, a wolf, a snake, all these animals. Like, what do we know about foxes as far as symbolism? They're sly. You know what I mean? It says in the Bible, it says the little foxes spoil the vine. You know what I mean? The little foxes. It don't have to be. It seems minute, but they will spoil your harvest. You understand? They will spoil your harvest. Dealing with them, period. What do pigs? They eat mud and slop in their own feces. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Bible calls them an unclean animal. You can still eat it under the blood, but guess what? It's not healthy for you to play in the slop and to eat pigs, because they truly do. I eat pork sometimes, but I eat bacon, but I'm just keeping it real. Let's go to the symbolism of that. The narcissists play in the pig pen. They are venomous. They are snakes. They don't mind stabbing you in the back. They, as a matter of fact, they get off on doing things to you that you don't even know they did. But some of them still have shame to them, so they will start an argument with you because they're guilty conscious and they know what they did behind your back. That's why sometimes they'll tell on themselves, crackhead games. You know what I'm saying? Crackhead games. And it's like you got to really, like, gather yourself back. That's why I say I call back all of my energy that I gave to people that I needed for me. Father, I call it back. And whatever I took from people illegally or I should have been taking from them, God, I give it back to them. Send it back their way. You know what I'm saying? Because everything I need is in you. Everything I need is in my Creator. Everything I need, He knows me. You know what I mean? He's a mechanic. He knows how He made me to be. So, man, I'm telling you, I would have all these weird dreams of, like, it's a cartoon and he a hog, and I saw that vision of it sitting in a chair, and I knew the Bible says a woman without discretion is like a gold ring in a pig's snout. You know what that means? it means you're something of value, but you're allowing yourself to be, you're not using discretion. That means you're not guarding yourself. You're not being very choosy. You're not being very, it's a word I want to use I can't think of right now. But you're not being very circumspect about what you do and about who you allow around you. And some people think it's something wrong with doing that. No, the Bible, it definitely talks about that. I'm going to say it again. It says, I believe it's a beautiful woman without discretion. It's like a gold ring in a pig's snout. So I'm just going to say, for man or woman, if most of the time, think about what I'm saying. If you're something valuable like a diamond ring and a pig snout, nobody going after that. They're going to leave it there because it's too much trouble to go to the pig pen trying to get it. But God will go come and get you. But most people, they ain't trying to even go there, even though it's something valuable there. You understand? So it's like, you got the limit. If you have to do this, I'm serious, you got to limit your contact with them. Because I'm feeling my energy slowly coming back to me. I'm feeling my strength, but it's a slow process. And I feel like God saying, I ain't making it easy for you because of your disobedience and certain things you did. And I told you to be and get out of this. Now the process is going to be, recovery can be long and slow and painful. And it's like, I can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. I'm not going to move ahead of him. Not this time, God willing. Nope. Because every time I went back to the narcissist and going back through they circus, they freak show, they crackhead games, it's just all it is making my recovery process even longer. I can't do it. I don't even want to do it. And now every time I think about it, it's like my mind and heart be like, heck no, man. No, I don't care what he do. My daughter's birthday just passed. My baby girl, she turned 3, which I'm so happy, my little sweetheart. And he dropped off a big princess house that I have to put together. I told him, what are you doing here? I let him leave the gift, but it's like narcissists don't really care about balance. You have to really be, I'm like, if you don't leave, I'm going to call the police. Like, I cannot do this. And he's still trying. He's still trying to find ways. And it's like, no, I can't wait to see, I'm waiting on the judge. I'm praying that the judge give me a permanent injunction, like enough. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to do what I have to do on my end to make sure, like, no. Me and my children need transportation, and you kick the doors in. My car already wasn't drivable. Now I have to see if it's even worth fixing, or I may have to get rid of the car. The narcissist will cause you to not be able to move forward and go forward. They will cause you to lose your blessings. They will cause, or they call it to leak out. That stuff is true. And I heard somebody say, you're dealing with a narcissist, it's hard to keep the house clean. When I'm telling you now that person ain't here, I don't have that problem. And I ain't so depressed. I remember sometimes it seemed like a tired depression would just come over me. That's why I understand that the oppression and the depression and, the possession, trying to possess me, that's what I'm in unclean spirit trying, so that I just don't do nothing. You know what I mean? And I'm still fighting, but I'm like, I know now, like it was warring against me. And I had to just get out, man. Don't let the narcissist keep you in Groundhog Day with their crackhead games. You know what I mean? Get your strength back. Do whatever you got to do. And at this point, I'm taking extreme measures with my health, with everything to get it. Because I feel like I don't have no choice. It's do or die at this point. Do what you have to do, because at the end of the day, don't waste your potential and, your best life worrying about somebody who's going to be on, they're a crackhead. They like to play crackhead games. They love it.